Yeah, was good.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Shit, so what's going on? The hip hop
Chilling.
world.
Yo, I just saw the promotional commercial for Busta Rhymes' new album. That
Yeah,
is serious. No joke. I hope it's good. All this promotion we've been seeing, and he got Chris Rock doing the first trailer, and he got like a longer trailer now with like some in a church with some priests and all that. He played a new song with ODB in the studio. I hope it's good, but the promotion has been on point. It's sounding like old Busta Rhymes. That's what I want to hear.
shit, I might
So
check that shit out.
I'm not gonna get hype yet, but I like what I'm hearing so far. Definitely like what I'm hearing. I mean, yo, we might get album of the year if it's gonna be that good. You never know. And he didn't even drop the track list yet. I know the track list gonna have some crazy features on it.
I know it comes out October 30th and shit too.
Yes, Halloween Eve, Ash Wednesday. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man. He just dropped the album cover. It looks crazy. It's like with like a skeleton face with a mask over the face, and some designer chick did the album cover, but that shit look. I like what I'm seeing right now. I just want to hear the whole album.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes and shit.
You know what I mean?
Now,
Definitely, definitely like what I'm seeing right now. So, and it's Busta Rhymes. We need Busta Rhymes back in the culture, being relevant again. It's been years since he dropped a good album. So,
that I
you know,
agree with.
I'm definitely a fan of his. I have his first four albums. I definitely need to hear some good, solid Busta Rhymes music in 2020. So it can't just all be about Griselda. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No Ashley tonight. No, he's doing just me and Reg doing Pac double, the other Pac double album. People forget it ain't just all eyes on me.
Yeah, I know a lot of people ask for this one and shit like
Happy,
that. I really didn't want to review this album to keep it a fun, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it.
happy birthday, Teddy Riley. Yes, a legend. Salute this man now before he's no longer here.
That
I put up a post last year with like a bunch of different albums that he's been on. So you know what I'm saying? But yes, definitely happy birthday to him. Yeah, Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace to him.
rest in peace.
I I'm not going to lie. I never heard of Van Halen album till yesterday. I heard the 1984 album, a dope album. I might just pick that up because I wasn't a fan of Van Halen. I remember like watching the videos when I was little, seeing the jump video and you know what I'm saying, and even the stuff with like Sammy Hagar. But I was never a fan of theirs. But I said, I've never listened to the Van Halen album. Let me listen to one of their albums, and that's not even considered one of their best. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen a lot of people that I follow on IG post the 1984 albums. I'm like, I'm gonna start with that. I listened to it. Definitely got some bangers on it. Definitely a dope album.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, man. I'm mostly a fan of the David Lee Roth Van Halen
right?
and stuff like that because nothing really against Sammy Hagar, but uh, the David Lee Roth was just something else and stuff like that.
Right. I
And
like the drums on like Jump and on songs like I'll Wait and Girl Gone Bad. Those joints like Drop Dead Legs. Those joints like the the bass and the drum kicks on those are like real hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Definitely a dope album. You know, Panama, that was a single, and Hot for Teacher. I'm like, yeah, I like this album. It's only 9 songs.
yeah. If I were you, the two albums I would check out is the debut album and
Uh,
the Fear Warning album.
what's it called?
Um, the debut
Real what?
self-titled album from '78
Uh,
and the 1981 album Fear Warning.
okay, I'll check those out.
Yeah, man. Because I only have two Van Halen albums. It's the debut and the 1984 album.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely. And you know, he played. Eddie played on the guitars on "Beat It" from Michael Jackson.
Yes, sir.
That's when I first heard of him. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up in that era when Thriller came out and hearing that, oh, the guy from Van Halen played guitar on Michael's song. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And then seeing the jump video later on, I'm like, oh, that's the guy, Eddie Van Halen, band named after him and shit.
Yeah, man. I saw an interview Eddie Van Halen did about Beat It, talking about how MJ pretty much redid the guitar riff without Eddie knowing and shit like that, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken.
And you know, growing up, I watched you know, when we talked about, you know, many months ago when me, you and Ashley did the you know, our favorite TV shows of all time. Like growing up, I watched a lot of One Day at a Time, and he was married to Valerie Bertinelli. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That she was on that show, and you know, I used to always that was like one of my favorite shows growing up. So just knowing that, it was like, okay, I know who Van Halen is, and then I remember when David Lee Roth left and Sammy Hagar came in, and then when he left and they had like it was like beef with all of them. I'm like, yo, I remember seeing Sammy Hagar on the back on MTV Cribs when he used to have that show, and you know, it was a lot of bad blood between Eddie and Sammy and David Lee Roth, and then David coming back in the group, and so I'm familiar with them, but I don't know their stuff until like I just listened to their 1994 album, so definitely thought it was a banging album.
Yeah, Van Halen, man. They had like a lot of internal turmoil and stuff
Right,
like that. You know what I'm saying? And Loki, man, Eddie and Alex, they mostly started a lot of the shit to keep it a buck, but
right,
a lot of the shit they started with. But at the same time, one thing what I will always give credit to Van Halen for was they was relevant from like the '70s, '80s, and the
mm,
'90s. Not a lot
right,
of rock, not a lot of rock groups in their tenure um survived that long and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, because
Even
I
though,
seen like in the comments, I seen a lot of people saying like by the time a group gets to like their sixth album, they're like already either the lineup is changed or there's like inner turmoil, and they made it up and like I saw like their classic stuff. You know what I'm saying?
right? Because even though I'm not the biggest Hagar fan, every album that they did with Sammy Hagar went to #1.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was huge back then for them. He was huge.
Yeah, man. All right, we got to go for about 3 more minutes and shit.
I like the happy song, but I they played it. They overplayed it. They overplayed it. At a certain point, they overplayed it too much to the point where he was at the Oscars. I think he was at the Oscars performing that song as well.
Yeah,
And it just became like, and then his last album, the Girl album, I feel like they crafted that whole album around that one song. Because
they
if
did.
you look, I mean, there's some of the songs was cool, but it's not a great Pharrell album. Like in my mind, to me, was his best album as a solo artist. But um, Happy is definitely his like signature song. But they overplayed it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, I like the happy song, but
Right.
over time I got very tired of it and shit. And mind you, it was for like the wasn't it for like the Happy Feet movie or some shit?
It was for I think was it Happy Feet or Minions? I thought it was for Minions.
It was I know it was a Penguin movie, but fuck it.
Yeah, but I never watched the movies, but it's for one of those soundtracks. you know. But I mean,
Right.
he had some decent. I love Pharrell. I love the Neptunes. You know, Teddy Riley. You know, put them on. You know what I'm saying? They all great production duo. But I just felt like for that, it was, and then it's like when he was at the Grammys and it was wearing the Ranger hat and all that. They made that into like a big thing. I'm like, yo, like, come on, enough with that happy song. Like, we get it. It's his biggest hit ever. They just overplayed it. I don't miss that song. If I don't hear that ever, then I won't miss it.
Right. That's funny as hell. What else? Let me see what somebody else say. Oh, Teddy Riley or Pharrell?
Oh man, that's hard, man. Teddy,
Teddy
Teddy, yeah, Teddy invented a whole genre, a whole sound for his genre in R&B. You know what I'm saying? Like, for Pharrell is responsible for a lot of artists, just like Teddy was, but Teddy invented New Jack Swing. Like, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a lot of those artists that came out, and a lot of those artists had like one hit to their name because of Teddy Riley. Anybody remember Today? I mean, Today had like one big hit, maybe two, and then they broke off and Big Bub went his way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Johnny Cash, one hit, just Friday night, just got paid. That was Teddy Riley. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel. If it wasn't for Teddy Riley doing that album, Bobby Brown wouldn't have been a big solo artist. He would have had to come crawling back to New Edition. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
Teddy is responsible for a whole sound. Neptune's sound was different, and I think it's still different even now in this day and age. But they didn't have like a sound named after them for like a genre in music. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely Teddy Riley, but I love the Neptunes, like I said.
Yeah, man. Teddy Riley definitely made a sound and shit like that. But Pharrell and the Neptunes too, they made a definitely unique sound and shit too. But hats off to Teddy.
Yes,
All right, I'm ready to start whenever you are.
yes. Let's go.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of our hip hop review. This is your boy Reg in the building. And my boy on try with me.
Bro,
Album we are going to talk about today is Tupac with the his first posthumous album. Are You Still Down? Remember Me. This was released in 1997 on Amaru, which is under Interscope and under Jive Records. Singles album is known for only came out with two singles. I Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto and Do for Love. Producers include Afeni Shakur, executive, Lisa Smith Putnam, executive, Tony Mazzaro, Action, Chew, Def Jeff, DJ Daryl, Warren G, Khalid A. Havitz, Johnny J, Laylaw, Live Squad, Levant Marcus, Michael Mosley, QD3, Quimmy Quim, Chris Roster, Conrad Roster, Ricky Rouse, Soul Shark and Carlin, and Tupac himself. Guest appearances include Action, Stretch, who was part of the group Life Squad, one of Tupac's old friends. Um, Val Young, who, if you guys know about Val Young, she was affiliated with Rick James and stuff like that. She sang on the Tupac song "To Live or Die in L.A." Very underrated singer. Um, Y question mark NV. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Richie Rich, very underrated West Coast artist. Big Sight, from the group Thug Life. Spice One, West Coast legend right there. Um, Eric Williams of Blackstreet. I want to say he was part of the first incarceration of Blackstreet, but I could be wrong.
the second, he was on
The
the second
second,
album. Yeah,
okay, okay. Drumicido, which was like the original incarceration of the Outlaws. Um, we got Dave Hollister, another Blackstreet member and shit. Okay.
yeah.
Maxi and Yaki Gaddafi. All right, so the story with this album. Okay, so as y'all should know, this is like the first Tupac posthumous album that was released. And spoiler alert, this is the only Tupac posthumous album that I will ever cover on this channel. So yeah. Okay, so pretty much everyone should know that Tupac recorded a lot of stuff in the studio since the day he started like making music.
Right.
And so around 97, Death Row Records was going through like a lot of legal issues, Sugar was going to prison around that time. Of course Dre had left, and I think at that time legally they couldn't release any posthumous music. And so this is where Afeni Shakur came about, because Afeni Shakur pretty much made her own label called Amaru Entertainment so that she can release Tupac's music and just protect the right to that and stuff like that. And so, that being said, a lot of the material that was on this album was recorded around the time the Strictly for My Niggas album, um, First Thug Life album, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But here's the real got you. So the title "Are You Still Down" originally that was supposed to have been, to put it bluntly, that was supposed to have been an album that he was supposed to came and release around 95 and shit like that. But around this time, he had to scrap that album because he was going through the whole sexual assault case and shit like that. And
Right.
so he released the album for the whole Me Against the World and stuff like that. And so by the time this album was supposed to have came out, he was already signed his deal with Death Row Records by late '95. So they pretty much shelved the album, and a lot of the songs you can probably like listen to and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what else? What else? Yeah, man. And what a lot of the songs that he did around like 92, 94, certain songs, they go through like sample clearance issues, and there'll be some songs that they have to redo the beat to
Right.
make sure either it matches the original or what. And with that being said, with certain tracks off this album, I decided to like talk about the retail
OG.
version as well as like the OG version to see
Yeah.
if it matches up and stuff like that. Because I have a thing about posthumous albums where motherfuckers just redo the whole beat, and sometimes the beat might sound too current, or the beat might sound like something the artist would not be used to rapping over and stuff like that. And when it comes to Tupac's posthumous discography, he is no victim to that, because any album post um this album pretty much they had to redo the beats, and some of the beats did not sound
Mm.
too good and stuff like that. Like yeah, it is y'all know where I'm getting at.
Yep.
And so that's why I tend not to talk about a lot of posthumous albums on this channel. Like I know we're going to talk about Big L's The Big Picture one day soon and stuff like that. And
I thought we did that.
so,
We did that already. You didn't do that?
no, we didn't do big. We
Oh,
did
we did the first album. My bad. We did the first album. Okay.
yeah, yeah, we did a Devil's Son and stuff like that
Right.
too.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, yeah, that's all I have to pretty much say about this album. Of course, I don't have the booklet, the front disc cover, so that's why I had to put the cover on the screen right there and stuff like that. And of course, y'all should know that cover as like the back cover off the Strictly for My Niggas album and stuff too.
So so Are You Still Down? That was an album that he already had in the vault, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And so okay, so the second part of Remember Me, is that something he had already, or is that something that his mom put that together for the album?
Well, the artist so don't remember me. He just named that after a song he had recorded and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
All right. So continuing the tradition of like double albums in hip hop around that time, this was no doubt a double album. This album had about 26 songs. So let's hit
Yep.
it. Track number one, Redemption. Um, this was a very dope track to begin off the album. It's pretty much like a spoken word track, about all of it is like acoustic guitar beat and stuff, talking about how, he will still be timeless no matter what, he'll still be timeless. Even if he drops dead and stuff like that, his spirit will still live on. So that's what I got from that.
Yeah, you have like a demonic voice, on the Redemption, and he's talking about, thug life, bitch, and we going out like that, and um, there's the guitars playing, and it's just a real eerie feeling when the album starts off, and it's cool. It was cool.
Yeah, very eerie feeling and shit. And so, which brings us into track number two, Open Fire. Love this track. Very dope energy and stuff like that within this track. Um, just pretty much on that braggadocio shit and things of that nature. So yeah, nothing to it. And the original version of this track is dope too, but it's really no different from this version too. Which that's another thing about this album which I forgot to mention. Like they didn't really touch and do a lot of altering when it comes to this album. And so that's one thing I fucking love.
Yeah, I like it. It was a nice beat, nice bass line. You got Pac in his bag on this saying, "I'm sick inside my mind. Why they sweat me? He's gonna take an army full of crooked ass cops to come and get me." Fire. That's the tip. That's the vintage Pac that I'm accustomed to hearing. So there's definitely a dope album track to start off the album.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Which brings us into the next track. Are you still down? Remember me? Another very dope song where he like pretty much just foretells the death. But the retail version on this album, I don't like the beat.
Right.
Um, just the retail was pretty by Tony Pizarro. I pretty much prefer the original version of this track right here. The beat was like a lot more pimping, a lot more West Coast and shit.
Right.
That beat, it definitely sounded like a cheap Dollar Tree beat, in my opinion. So Um, but regarding the song itself, I definitely love the song. I love the line when he says, "Living life as a thug, time to face the truth. What's going on with the wasted youth? Please God, come save me. You had to work with what you gave me, and got a nigga going crazy. I can't read the signs. I'm blind, but a nigga know he need his nine." I love that line right there. Very dope track. The original version.
Yeah, it's definitely a dope beat. Nice bass line. Pac saying, "I came up out the gutter, never changed my style. Got got for real about my paper because the game was wild. Fire joint. Love those lines by Pac. Yeah, it was cool. I don't remember hearing the original beat. I might have heard it like a long time ago. Cause when I saw the title "All You Still Down," I'm thinking about the John B track he did from Cool Relax,
Yeah.
the Cool Relax album, and that's also titled "All You Still Down." But definitely a dope track.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A little trivia too. John B was the last person in the studio with Tupac before he died.
Yes, he said that on the DJ Vlad interview last year.
Yep.
He was talking about it. Yeah,
All right. Track number four, Hellraiser. This track features Stretch and Val Young. Produced by QD3 and Life Squad. Very dope track. You know. Oh my God. I'm gonna call her back. After what I said. Um. Very, very, very dope track and stuff like that. You know, you're just talking about life in the streets and shit, the reality, and just begging the Lord for His forgiveness and stuff. So yeah, man. This is a very dope track. I like it.
Again, another vintage Pac joint. He's in his bag on this joint. Nice beat, a really dark track. I love the scratches on it as well. And Pac saying, "Warning for investigation, and even though I'm marked for death, I'm a spark till I lose my breath." Fire joint. This joint I remember. I remember it was a a source issue I had, and he was like already on death row, and he was like he was chilling out in Cali, and they were talking about like some of his like most infamous songs, and they mentioned Hellraiser even back then, and definitely a classic pop joint.
Yes, sir. Definitely a classic. I'm gonna call him mom right quick. I'm gonna let you.
Okay,
I'm gonna continue where you left off and shit.
all
Where I
right.
left.
Um, then we get to track 5 now, Thug Style, and you got Pac, saying on the beginning of the song, he want niggas to bump this in their Jeep so that the cops could pull them over for this, and definitely a nice beat. I love the hi hats on it, the pianos. It has like some haunting piano keys on there. And Pac, saying, I could be wrong, but I never got along with cops. It's like they stuck for making the niggas duck from Glocks. Definitely a fire joint. Again, Pac was in his bag on this. This real angry, real militant. That's the type of Pac I love. The angry militant Pac, and he didn't give a fuck about the cops, and he just spoke his truth. And definitely a dope track. One of the standout tracks on this album.
Yes, sir. We talking about thug style and shit.
Drug style, yeah,
Yeah, I love, love, love this track and stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is like pretty much one of the hardest songs that he pretty much came with.
right,
Um, what I got from this track was just him being from originally from New York and him
right,
moving to the West Coast. A lot of people question how loyal he was and like to both coasts and stuff like that because and this was before the whole East Coast West Coast rivalry and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like
oh,
it was pretty interesting how he wrote that, and I love the third verse. The original version of this track, the original version of this track was produced by Stretch and stuff like that. Which Stretch very underrated producer, and it's really no that much not that much different than the retail version. So I like this.
it was dope. We got track 6 now.
Yeah, where we go from here, interlude.
Yes,
Um, yeah, this was pretty much a spoken word joint right here. Where his voice was like a lot more pitched down and stuff like that. Just talking about how just how fucked up the world is, and just with the police brutality. Just children being born at the wrong time. Shit like that.
right.
Um, very, very, very dope. I like it.
Can I play something for you real quick?
Yeah.
Play this joint. Y'all remember this joint?
I heard that joint.
I like to real, don't let it get you. Wanna be deep, but it's the hustle that gets me rich. One love to my people, making money. I can see you rubbing, but through it all trouble. Where depth, continue struggling. There's nothing's
What's
impossible.
the name of
There's
that?
put your mind on your feet.
That's the OG version from Machiavelli, the Machiavelli bootlegs.
Oh wow. Okay,
The
bet.
original What's Next with Prince Idol Joe, rest in peace to him, because he
Okay.
passed away. I forgot what year he passed away. That's the original, the OG one that was on the Machiavelli bootleg. I actually got the Machiavelli bootlegs. I prefer the original version, not the one that's on the album. I didn't care for that one because the beat sound like it was like they were trying to do like some chopped and screwed shit. It sounded like it really slowed down, and you got like you got like that. demonic voice on the track, and I'm like, nah, this fails in comparison to the OG one. Like I said, a lot of the songs on the Machiavelli bootlegs, for anybody that remember those joints, like way better than some of the remade joints that they did for the posthumous albums. But I prefer the OG one. But you know, definitely a classic unreleased pop joint.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, Track number 7. I wonder if Heaven got a ghetto. This is the OG, the Soul Shock and Carlin version. I prefer the other version of this album. I didn't like the beat off this one. To keep
Yeah,
it a buck, it was too sentimental, and it's crazy too because the OG version of this track, it had like the same rhythm melody as this retail version, but it
right.
had like an Vogue sample and more bass, and it was like with this one they had this more stripped down and stuff like that. So, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna say my thoughts on the hip hop remix, and later on
Right.
in the album, thoughts on that.
I definitely agree with you. I prefer the other mix, the video version. This one was but I like the other one. The other one is just it's more melodic. It's more there's a groove to it. It's more catchy, you know. So I definitely like that other mix.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like regarding like the meaning of this song and stuff like that, just him talking about like life after death and stuff like that. And like I said, lyrically, concept wise, I like the song. It's just this version to beat. And like we talk about So Sharp and Carlin a lot on this channel and stuff, so they made some heat together,
Yeah,
but this wasn't one of them.
yeah, not that one.
Right. All right. Next track, Nothing to Lose, featuring YNB. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Um, yeah, this was a solid joint. Not really, really too heavy on this track right here and stuff like that. I just thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah, it was cool. Real nice beat, nice pianos on it. A nice groove on they Pac saying I'm on my own at an early age, getting paid and I'm strapped, so I'm never be afraid. Fire drink. Definitely a solid album cut.
Yeah, man, dead ass, dead ass. Um, Track number 9, I'm Getting Money. Um, Again, another track I felt was okay. I just felt like the beat wasn't really that meshed too well, in my personal opinion. It was okay. It wasn't really too heavy on this track.
Yeah, it was cool, nice. Real. It was like it had like a soulful feel to it. Nice bass line, nice, keys on it. Beat was dope. Pac saying I'm getting high, think I die if I don't get no ends. I'm in a bucket bomb, but I'm riding like it's a Benz. It was a dope track. One of my favorites on it.
True, true. Okay. Next track, Lie to Kick It, featuring Richie Rich. I always love it when Pop and Richie Rich do music together and shit like that. They done like a lot of dope classics like Heavy in the Game, Rather Be Your Nigga. And so with this one, Warren G made the beat. It's pretty much dedicated because it was. You can tell it was recorded around the whole Mike Tyson rape charge incident and stuff like that. And it uses the same sample Snoop used for G's and Hustlers and stuff too. And what I got from this track, watching out for these females, how they like gold diggers always out for niggas riches and stuff like that. Yeah, this track was pretty dope and stuff like that. I pretty much love this joint right here. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely a nice collab with Pac and Richie Rich, and has a like a nice dope like break beat type of track, and you know um it uses the same sample that Snoop used for G's and Hustlers, that joint, that sample
yeah,
on Doggy Style. And you have Richie Rich saying polyurethane busters cracked in half. You claim you for the bank, but I know your bank stink. And then I like the chorus. You got Pac on the chorus, and you got the lie to kick it. Them trick ass, they were tricks and bitches. out to get a niggas riches. And then, Pac in his verse, he mentions, every time you fuck, you bust a nut for Tyson, you know, referring to the Tyson rape case and all that. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, Track number 11. Fuck all y'all. I do not like that beat, man. I don't really care for this beat.
yeah,
Again, another song where they did way too much
mm,
and ruins everything and stuff like that, And the original version was dope too because it uses
right,
that fucking George Benson sample, the
right,
breezings that love
yeah.
that track. So yeah, man, that's crazy.
I thought it was decent. It was I thought it was a nice beat, nice pianos on that, and Pac saying, "Look around, and all I see is snakes and fakes, just like just like scavengers waiting to take a hustler's papes. And when you stuck, where the fuck is all your friends? They straight busted and can't be trusted. Fire, fire lines by Pac, yo, and just calling niggas out like, yo, you ain't no friend of mine. You fake. Where you at when I need you? Love that joint.
Yeah, man. I definitely see what you're saying. Like, and I like I said, I try to like be understanding about like, a lot of production with sample clearances, but
Right,
I just felt like some of these beats was just it could have been way better. But
right.
yeah, lyrically, Pac was definitely on his own around this time. So, track number 12, "Let Them Things Go." Pretty okay track right here. You can definitely see like the P Funk influence with this track. Um, yeah, I definitely live like this track. Definitely.
Yeah, this was good. Had a nice beat, nice bass line. You have Tupac with like an old school type of flow on this joint. You could tell it was like an older type of track. And he's saying, boom boom motherfucker, and it don't stop. Fuck a cop, pass the Glock, and it won't stop. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like Grand Poobah-ish when he was with Brand New Bean in like around 1990. It reminded me of for some reason it reminded me of Grand Poobah. But I definitely enjoyed that track. You know what I'm saying? Definitely an old school type of track from hip hop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, one of my all-time favorite Tupac songs. Period. Definition of a thug nigga. Oh my god. Um. So this song was one of the few songs that was like previously released, and a lot of people didn't know about this track. This track was on the Poetic Justice soundtrack. Very dope movie. Pop, Janet Jackson. In my
Right.
opinion, I was all about Regina King and Joe Torre's character. I felt like that was the
Really?
main half of the movie with me. John Singleton definitely did his thing. Rest in peace to John Singleton. And the soundtrack was not that bad too. I gotta get my hands on the soundtrack, but
Same.
yeah, definition of a thug nigga was definitely a very dope track. Warren G produced that track. According to Warren G, he produced that track after hearing the beat, the beat for the track Endo Smoke and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was also on that soundtrack on Poetic Justice.
Yes,
From my, yeah.
and I love the line where he says, "Break a hole when it's time to make some more. I keep my finger on the trigger of my Glock, riding down the block, licking shots at the punk ass cops, and spitting game through my mobile phone. The type of shit to get them hoes to bone. My definition of a thug nigga." And then the chorus is like the, "'Tis the season to be serving. What you doing? Mobbing like a mother." Like I love that beat. Warren G, man, that's definitely a
Yes.
very dope beat from Warren G and stuff like that. Yeah,
Underrated producer,
very
definitely.
underrated.
Yeah, I like the beat by Warren. Really dope beat. It also sent Black Moon used the same sample for Buck 'em Down remix. Um, Definitely. Pac was saying, I play the chords I was given. Thank God I'm still living. Pack my nine till it's time to go back to prison. Fire, fire joint. This is another joint that I knew about like years, even back in the '90s, about along with Hellraiser, that was like considered like one of his most infamous, tracks. Definitely a bang.
Yeah, man, like definitely a very, very underrated pop song. And the Poetic Justice soundtrack was also the first Tupac movie soundtrack where he actually had songs in it and
Like,
stuff. So definitely some trivia for y'all right there. Um, Next track we got is Ready for Whatever featuring Big Psych. Um, yeah, this was produced by Johnny J. Kind of interesting how this was like the first track after a couple where like Johnny J led his credit to and stuff like that. So yeah, very very solid joint. Um, Ready for Whatever, man. He's just talking about some real shit like what niggas go through. You can tell this was supposed to have been on the Thug Life Volume One album and stuff like that. Very underrated album. Very underrated. Like, if you're a pop fan and you don't know or don't have the Thug Life Volume One, but you're all about All Eyes on Me, I don't want to hear that shit. My only gripe, I wish the song out on, I wish Out on Bail was on that album. Dead ass.
oh yeah, this is the first song on Remember Me. The definition of a thug nigga was the last song on Are You Still Down, and we get to this two, and this two has the Ready for Whatever for people that's following along. It was a dope beat. I liked it. Pac saying, "Will I survive or will I die?" is what I wonder. Puffing on blunts and getting drunk from going under. Definitely some dope lines. Great way to start part two of this double album.
Yeah, on some real shit. Yeah, man, definitely dope. Um, Track number two, When I Get Free. When I Get Free, this, from what I looked up, this was pretty much the original sequel to Soldier Story from the Tupacalypse Now album and stuff like that. And just talking about prison escape, because around that time the whole mass incarceration was risen with about like 93, 94 because the fucking Clintons signed that goddamn bill and stuff like that, and that's what a lot more blacks was like locked up more and stuff like that. So yeah, that's another story for a different day. So I kind of figured that that's what tied up through this, and Pac always written about stuff like that too. So yeah,
Yeah, it starts off well with like a girl going to see her boyfriend in prison, and he's asking about like he got some work for her to take care of while he's away, and how's his mom doing, and how he gonna beat that ass up when he come out of jail, and that was interesting. I didn't care for the reggae beat behind the track. I didn't think that it fit Pac's lyrics, but it was alright. It's not like one of my favorites though.
yeah, I could have sworn like the original had a reggae beat, like Soldier Store had a reggae-ish beat too. So, but I see what you're saying too, definitely. Um, Next track, Hold On, Be Strong. Yeah, this was a cool track right here, featuring Stretch. Nothing really to it, not really one of my favorites, but I feel like it was pretty solid.
I like this track. I think it was a hard track, a hard beat, bass line was knocking. You got Pac saying, and every Halloween, check out the murder scene. Can't help but duplicate the violent scene on the screen. Fire lines. Definitely, hold on to be strong. Definitely, a solid cut on this album.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright. Then we're gonna get into I'm Losing It, featuring Big Psych and Spice One. Very dope joint right here. Spice One, definitely one of Pop's closest friends and shit like that, and Big Psych definitely from like a Thug Life Collective. Like in my opinion, I felt like definitely Spice One stole the show. Like Spice One, and his verse was actually from what I looked up. It was from the track "Mind of a Sick Nigga," which was on the 1900 Slick album from '95, which is a very dope album. And the Tales from the Hood soundtrack too. So yeah, I definitely felt that was a very dope cut right there. Very underrated track.
Yes, it was real funky. It had like a Frank Zappa type of vibe to the song, and I like the beat and Pac saying don't let the movement fool you, let me school you, screaming thug life nigga when I do you. Fire joint, man. I like it.
Yeah, definitely fire joint. Um, Next track, Fake Ass Bitches. Yeah, this is another joint produced by So Shock and Carlin, which this was okay. I didn't really care for the beat on this one and shit like that. So no, actually, I made a mistake. This was Johnny J and stuff. Yeah, I definitely thought the beat could have been a little bit better and shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is similar to like the joint he did with Richie Rich. A lot of kicking and dealing with fake ass bitches and he's saying and let the bitch meditate to the dial tone and call me when you're ready to bone and a nice beat. I thought it was cool. Ain't nothing really special about it.
Yeah, I definitely see what you said on that shit. Definitely. Um, Now we're gonna get into "Do for Love." Love this track. Um, definitely one of his most iconic posthumous joints right here. It uses the sample of Bobby Caldwell's "What You Want to Do for Love." Everyone knows that track. I mean, yeah, man, everyone knows that. A lot of people sample that track too. Um, this joint right here, it pretty much tells a story about how he met this girl and stuff like that, and the girl, she pretty much lets her insecurities, she pretty much lets her insecurities like dictate her and stuff like that because she's pretty much how blaming him for thinking that oh you're gonna cheat on me and stuff like that. But then next thing you know it, he still wants to stay on to the girl because he still loves her, but her jealous ways, her jealous ways just got in the way of everything. So by the time you get into the second verse, he's all happy because he broke up with her, and she comes out of nowhere talking about, oh, she's pregnant. No, and he knows that's a damn lie. Pretty much, he knows that's a lie, and so pretty much, just Pac was just pretty much using the way like she's always angering him over the relationship, downing himself, and by the time you get to the third verse, you know, he's all happy in the current relationship that no, actually no, he's talking to his ex about the current relationship that she's in,
Right.
and homegirl's going through a lot of bullshit with the current nigga, and so she pretty much wished that things were what they used to be and stuff like that, and Pac himself, he's more happier and stuff too. So yeah, I love the video for this track. The video has like a cartoon image of Tupac and stuff like that. But I don't really care too much when they got to the claymation version of Pac. But it kind of reminded me of when Martin during like the last two seasons had that weird CGI
Right.
team. It kind of reminded me of that. Um, a little bit of trivia about this track. Um, Jay Dilla from this is from what I looked up. Pretty much, Jay Dilla, he claimed that Soul Shark and Carlin stole like pretty much sampled his version of the remix of the Far Side's "Why Be Like That," and he didn't even give him credit on the liner notes and stuff like that. So I just now knowing about this shit right here, and that's interesting. And also with this track right here, it was originally produced by Shock G, and so with the original version of this track, they used more of the Bobby Caldwell "What You Want to Do for Love" sample, and Shock G he's actually singing on the track too. So yeah, y'all should check out the original version of that.
I don't remember It's been a long time. So a lot of these unreleased joints. It's been like years since I heard it. So I gotta go back and listen to that one. You know. But
Yeah,
that video was everywhere. Like when that video came out, like the that video told a story with the animation and the claymation, and I think that's one of like his best videos. And he's not really like physically he's not in it, but he's in it. And
right,
the video goes with the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real melodic and it still has a beat to it, and you hear Pac talking about how much he wants to be with this woman, but she has her doubts and insecurities. And Pac saying, just take my hand and understand if you can see I never planned to be a man, it just wasn't me. Fire beat, love the scratching on that and the vocals by Eric Williams, that's his name.
yeah, Eric Williams.
Eric Williams from formerly of Black Sheep. And definitely a classic song. They picked the right singles for this album, I will say, because everybody knows that song when that Bobby Caldwell sample plays, and definitely a classic joint.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. Which brings us into the next track. What's the next track? What's the next track? 16 on. No, no, I'm tripping. Enemies with Me, featured with Dromicidal. Again, I didn't really care too much for that beat, the posthumous beat right there. I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit. It was like a step below and shit, in my opinion.
I thought it was cool. I like the beat. I like the little Ice Cube sample on it. Pac saying, "Bitch nigga, I'm prepared to die before I fry. I hit the weed, so I'll be forever hot." Vintage Pac on that, man. I like it.
Yes, sir. I see what you're saying. Which brings us to track number 8, Nothing But Love, featuring Dave Hollister. Um, yeah, Dave Hollister, man, very dope singer and shit like that. Um, yeah, another one of the track that was released in its original form and stuff like that. Another favorite of mine. Well, one thing I loved about the track was how soulful it was and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just him saying like nothing to lose and shit like that. I mean nothing but love and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely love how he brought that shit on. Just talking about his love for the streets. His love for people that held on to him and shit like that.
Right.
Um, this was released as a 12-inch single on a 12-inch single for I Get Around too. So
Mm.
yeah,
So this is from the Strictly from My Niggas album.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
and it
it
makes
was.
sense.
Huh?
I was saying it makes sense too because he did vocals on Keep Your Head Up and shit.
Oh, Dave Hollister.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's dope. Yeah, definitely a nice beat. It had like a P Funk type of vibe to it, and I
Hmm.
like Dave Hollister. He's always been an underrated singer, in my opinion. I loved his first album, Ghetto Hymns, and yeah, this was definitely a dope song. Yeah. So why wasn't the song featured on Strictly for My Niggas? They couldn't clear the sample or what?
I guess they can't clear the sample, and with certain with certain people they like to save the exclusive tracks for the singles and stuff like that too. So that's
Okay.
pretty much my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that was Nothing But Love, track number whatever, 16 on Death Row. Um, this track right here was also originally supposed to have been on Strictly for My Niggas, but they had to scrap it. I think because of sample clearance off
Yeah.
the original version. Um, pretty solid joint right here. Love the beat. He had this one line where he talks about. He says, "Before I take your life, first wrestle with these mites. I listened to his screams until he went insane. I guess a little mites had finally found his brain." Like, loved how dark and poetic those lines are and shit like that. And it's crazy too because This is another one of those songs where he's talking about like he's talking through somebody else in the streets and shit like that. Whereas around the time Me Against the World happened, he started talking about his life more and shit too. So
Hmm. Yeah, definitely a nice, real smooth, laid back track. Nice, smooth beat. You know, Pac saying the punk thought I was bluffing with Scram, nothing nice. Before I take your life, first wrestle with these mics. And I love his flow on that. His flow was like different compared to how he usually sound on a track. Definitely a nice, solid album cut on here.
yeah, very solid album cut. Um, Now I wonder if Heaven Gotta Go, the hip hop version. Love, love, love this version. This features Maxie, who she was a part of the R&B group Brownstone.
Right.
Rest in peace to her. You know, she died in 2015 after I believe she got in a car accident or some shit like that. It's crazy.
Some
Yeah, and if you guys know Brownstone, you'll know them for that song "If You Love Me," which was like a
classic.
big song from '94, '95. And yes, that's what Tory Lanez used as a sample for that
Mm-hmm.
save back and shit like that. So yeah, man. I love this version right here. Of I Wonder If Heaven Gotta Go. Definitely, it's actually the first song I've heard from this album. The video was
Yeah.
pretty dope. Like, he was going in the bus and shit like that, and you know, like he's in heaven. It uses the cameo. I use like a cameo sample too, which very very dope sample. Like Pop always used a lot of cameo samples. Now thinking about it and shit. So yeah, very very dope track. I love this shit.
Definitely a great first single. And I remember the video when he was like, and this is like after he died, so it's like the way the camera is shot in the video is like like from his point of view, but you don't see the person, and you see like he's like at a monastery or something with like a bunch of sisters and nuns, and like they taking care of him. And I definitely think it's like the better version. I like this one with the bass line and the beat and the hi hats, and you got the background singing with Maxine, rest in peace to her. And I didn't even know that was her singing on the song until you said that. That's crazy. She's no longer here with us also. Pac saying I could remember being whooped in class, and if I didn't pass, Mama whooped my ass. And I love it, man. It was definitely a great track. And at one point I remember they said that I know I believe Soul Shock and Carlin produced it, but there was
Yeah,
rumors that G produced the beat.
who?
Warren G.
You know, I would not be surprised because it does have like a Warren G feel to it and stuff like that. But at the same time, I know Soul Shock and Carlin definitely had that soul, that down home soul vibe with
Right.
their music and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
either or, I won't be surprised if they did produce it.
Right.
Yeah, man. Track number 11, When I Get Free 2, featuring Yaki Gaddafi. Um, this track right here, you know, definitely you can tell this was from the Thug Life era, where he's talking about, just ending his inner feelings about ending up in jail, trying to get out, how they always trying to lock a nigga in the system and shit like that. Pretty solid joint. Not really one of my favorite, pretty solid.
I like this joint. Definitely a hard track, and I like the horns on it, the piano, the beat was dope. Pac saying I devised the plan in the trunk while she drives the van. Ain't no disguise, I'ma die as a man. And he's talking about like being locked up and devising this plan and with this female CO and getting with the female CO so that she can, be on his side and then, devise this plan where he can escape when she's driving the van. I thought that was dope, and I like the chorus. When I get free, motherfuckers better watch they ass. Soon as I get released, I'ma clutch to some cash and fire joint. And Gaddafi, rest in peace to him, another one that's not no longer here. And he was always one of my favorites on the Outlaws. When they had the Outlaws, where uh, Fredo Hussein, rest in peace to him, and Castro and Napoleon, and Idi Amin, um, Big Syke. He's no longer here. Rest in peace to him. Like the outlaw, I always like the Outlaws when they were with Pac. I feel like the Pac brought out the best out of them, and then when he passed away, like they're not the same anymore without him. But they always had that energy. They always had like their energy was, it was great around Pac, and Pac to me always brought out like the best. Like a lot of those songs you hear the Outlaws featured on, I always feel like that was like their best because Pac brought out the best in them.
Exactly. I definitely see what you're saying. And shit.
And it's
Um,
sad that after that crew was gone, you know what I'm saying? Like after Pac died, like three or four of them is gone too.
correct. Gaddafi, Hussein.
Yeah. I've seen Fatal Hussein in concert actually. 1999 I actually saw him because he's from Jersey. And then they went out to the West Coast, but I actually saw him in concert. But half of that group is like is like gone because of death, and it's just crazy.
True. Yes, sir. I see what you're saying. It's just like a lot of people in Tupac's circle end up dying in some strange ways, like
Yeah, I agree.
AJ, Alexander.
hmm
Yeah, man.
I think Napoleon moved to Saudi Arabia or something.
Yep.
And I don't know where's Castro, and I haven't seen Castro in years. Storm, I don't know what happened to her. It's basically Idi Amin and Young Noble right now.
For real. I think EDI he's always doing them Vlad interviews and shit too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I next track, Black Starry Night interlude. Interesting interlude right here. So what a lot of people did not know was like Tupac pretty much had an album that he was supposed to have came out with in like 92, 93. One of those albums. I want to say it was either called Thug Style or Troublesome Nat 21. And so, no, it was called Thug Style. Some shit like that. And so, with this track, with the album right here, he had to pretty much scrap the album because allegedly, like the people at Death Row Records, like Snoop and the Dog Pound, you know, they pretty much stole a lot of the lingo, like the for shizzle, nizzle,
Mhm.
all that shit off this album and stuff like that. And Pac pretty much had an issue with that allegedly. And all this is coming from Natasha Walker and stuff like that. This all is coming from Natasha Walker. And so he had to, of course, redo the album a couple of times for like I think the Thug Life Volume One album. So yeah, so that's why this interlude is pretty much saying like how niggas can't wait for this album to come out and kiss my ass and shit like that. It was talking about this album right here. So yeah,
So the Black Starry Night interlude was a part of that Thug Style album.
allegedly, yep.
And the thing is, and how long have we heard Snoop for over the years say for Shizzle My Nizzle? Like I thought that was like something that he trademarked as his own.
Nah, cause a lot of cats on the West Coast, like Too Short, was using that. Of course, you got to mention E40,
Right.
Richie, like a lot of the cats in the Bay Area was
Mhm.
using that before Snoop and shit.
That's crazy.
Snoop just popularized it.
I didn't even know that. It was cool. It was a cool interlude. I didn't know none of that stuff that was going on. You know.
Yeah, because I've heard the story a couple of times over the years and stuff like that. Cause he was always cool with Suge and stuff like that, but
Right.
he never really fucked with Dre.
Yeah.
I mean, he got cool with Snoop.
Right.
Of course, he had problems with Lady of Rage too.
Right.
So yeah, a
Right.
lot of shit y'all niggas don't know about Death Row Pop, but it is what it is. And the last track off this album, Only Fear of Death, very, very dope track right there. Very solid joint. Nice way to end off this album, in my opinion.
Yeah, you got the that demonic voice that we heard on Redemption from the Are You Still Down disc. He's back on this, and we hear him on in the beginning of this song, and he's saying, he's asking, "Are you afraid to die?" And you got Pac saying, "Falling asleep while I'm in service until I die forever, paranoid, nervous because I'm hot." Fire joint, nice way to end the album off. Real
Yeah,
dark track.
definitely agree with you on that. All right, and that's all the tracks off this album. Overall, this album right here is a very interesting posthumous album. I would say it's like the only posthumous album I would own for my Tupac lover if I were y'all, but I'm not gonna stop y'all if y'all want to check out the other ones. With this album right here, you said what?
I said I'll stop them.
I mean, because like the future posthumous album, like Until the End of Time, Better Days, they have some good things any pop fan can enjoy. If y'all can just excuse like the beats and everything like that, but I just feel like with this one, each have the true essence of his music because the Life Squad era of pop is pretty much like my favorite era when it comes to Tupac. Like I love the Digital Underground, I love the Death Row era, but his work he did with like Stretch, and of
Right.
course like with Psych and the whole Thug Life shit, very 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 dope. That's when Pac was at his most hungriest, at his
Hmm.
most raw and stuff like that. And I feel like this album would definitely, if y'all listen to that Tupac, then y'all would definitely love this posthumous album and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And like I
Hmm.
said before, a lot of the songs were still in its original form. Well, not like a lot, but a good amount of songs, and that's saying a lot compared to the other ones like Better Days and Loyal to the Game and things of that nature and stuff like that.
Right.
But even though I would still recommend this album, I would still say that there was still some beats that, yeah, they could have been better. You can tell they were trying to redo that same sound and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's Tupac, one of the most influential and impactful rappers. At the end of the day, and so anything that the man has put out on wax, people are going to find some way to copy it no matter what. So, with that being said, I'm gonna give this album a solid 4 mics.
Definitely a dope collection of songs from a lot of his legendary past work. You know, I enjoyed it. There's some songs that I love more than others on here. Like "Do for Love" and "When I Get Free" and "I Wonder If Heaven Got to Get Older" remix and Hellraiser, of course. Definition of a Thug Nigga. I love those songs. You know what I'm saying? And it's a nice put together collection after he passed away, unfortunately. And salute to his mom. Rest in peace to her for taking control of this project. And back when Chuck Knight didn't give a damn, and he just leaked all of his unreleased stuff to the streets. And I also agree it is the best release after he passed away. Because I mean, I unfortunately I do have Better Days and what's the other one? Loyalty, was it Loyal to the Game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got those two, but I didn't buy those. Like I got those a part of a CD haul, so those came with the set, and I just kept them because it's Tupac. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, with Better Days, I think there's a couple of songs like OG versions, like Last Night that Quick DJ Quick produced. That was on the Machiavelli bootleg.
Oh
That's one of
wow.
my favorite joints from unreleased. So there are a couple of songs from Better Days that was OG, but when artists die, this is what they do. They did it to Michael Jackson and stuff after he passed away. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you just gotta, you just we you just got to keep bumping the classic work of Pac, and never mind everything else that came out after he passed away. But just strictly for my niggas and Tupac lives now, All Eyes, Me Against the World, Machiavelli, all that. That's the classic stuff we're gonna always remember Pac for. So this is definitely a dope collection. I give it a solid four mics, and yeah, it was good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We're gonna go on for about probably like 10 more minutes and shit like that. Just talk a little bit. So we're gonna on chat.
Crew
Um,
said she don't have the Instagram. I never seen her Instagram page, yo. Put her Instagram page in the chat so I could check it out.
yes, sir. Ronnie said, "Have y'all heard the news that Tory Lanez got arrested?" Yeah, I
What
heard
he
about that shit.
what he do now? You just went to jail.
I think he's getting charged with making this sound and shooting.
Oh, that could kill us. I don't listen to him. I could kill us.
Yeah,
Outlaws
he's
was
been.
signed to Rap Records. I didn't know that.
I didn't know they were signed to rap a lot. Oh wow.
That must have been like during the 2000s.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Cause I know that they signed to Death Row
Mm.
after Pac said don't sign to Death Row, which is why Hussein didn't really continue with the Outlaws and shit.
See the interview that Young Noble and EDI gave to Vlad last year, and they were talking about why, like Vlad was asking them why they wasn't, like, I don't think they was when Pac was there, they were directly signed to Death Row, and EDI felt like Chuck didn't care for them, like, because they were Pac's homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Like when Pac came to Death Row, he brought them along, so they wasn't a part of the Death Row roster like Dre and Snoop and the Dog Pound and them. So he always felt that he always had like the feeling that Chuck didn't care for them. Like when he talked about the night that Pac got shot, he he said that he knew something was funny because when Pac was anytime they went to the hotel with Pac, he would always call down to them and be like, yo, like, get ready, we're going out or whatever. He didn't do that day when he got shot. So EDI felt like something was going on, and Shug, it seemed like Shug was in a rush to get Pac away from them in the hotel or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said in the Vlad interview. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like the whole plan when Pac made Machiavelli Records, the whole plan was to come out with each of them solo. I think Young Noble was gonna be first, and then EDI and Napoleon, the rest of them. That was the plan. And then he planned Machiavelli to be like a more of like a mixtape. It was supposed to be like an album.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So that was the and then Keisha Cole, he discovered Keisha Cole or whatever. She was supposed to come out, and so that's what I heard. So I never heard of them being directly signed to Death Row.
Yeah, cause I read that they did sign to Death Row and stuff like that's what I read about. But
That's crazy. So what? So they got signed to Death Row, and then after Pac died, Chuck just got rid of them.
no, they signed to Death Row after Pac died.
Oh, after Pac died, but he never came out.
I don't think they came out with nothing now.
Yeah, I don't remember anything with them on Death Row. Crazy.
Then they came up with that story how they smoked Pac's ashes and shit.
Yeah, I remember. I remember hearing about that. Like, do you believe that?
Even if I do, why would you come out and say that shit? In my opinion,
I mean, hey, weird things have happened, but I don't know. They still doubt that he's even dead. So even now, after all these years, you know, Horace Brown, yes, I had Horace Brown first album on cassette, the one with One for the Money and Things We Do for Love, classic album, underrated singer. I don't know why he never put out nothing else after that. Brownstone remix, yeah, they have a video for that too, Ronnie. The Brownstone remix, that was dope. Favorite song Johnny J produced. Damn, he got a lot. There's a lot of dope joints he did for Pop.
for real.
MOP, Handle Your Business, or Annie Up. Annie Up,
Maybe yeah.
definitely. That whole Warriors album is fire, man.
Yeah, that's some sheet shit right there.
Yep. Oh, you still down? I have that. I actually got that as a Christmas present. When it came out that year, and I always like that. Like I said, like I think that's like the Outlaws always worked best with Pac on it, and when you got joints like "Letter to the President," which is still a relevant song with what we dealing with now. Love that the classic Outlaws and Tupac joint and Secrets of War. Teardrops and Closed Caskets with Nate Dogg on that. Classic shit on there. Bootsy's Rubber Band. You like Bootsy's Rubber Band? I think Reg is sleeping right now. Reg, you sleeping?
No, I'm reading the chat. You said Boosie's
Oh,
rubber band.
yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with Boosie's rubber band hard, man.
Ryan Devon. I got what's the album? Is it I forgot the name of the album. I got one of his albums. I think it's his first album. And I listened to like a lot of his mixtapes over the years and definitely an underrated singer. He's another one. I like the stuff he did for Ghostface on Ghost Dini album.
Ooh,
That was good. Like R&B hip hop on that.
yeah, that's an album only Ghostface can do.
Well, I need to find out the Storm's IG page. I never seen a. I don't think I even seen a picture of Storm ever.
Cruz said it won't send me the link for some reason.
Not even a link. You could just like type the name out in the chat. I'll just look it up. Yeah, his first album. I believe that one is out of print. Um, I forgot the name of that shit though. I got it though. It has like it's like yellow and dark brown or some shit.
You talking about Raheem Devon?
Yeah,
I like Raheem Devon a little bit. I never really got into him like that.
right. He's a good singer. I think he is under the radar though. He doesn't. I mean, he still does R&B like neo soul stuff, but he is slept on.
Yeah, cause he had that one joint called Woman, back in like
Yes,
oh
yes,
08.
that. Yeah. Do you like Bobby Valentino? I think he's a
Hell,
good. Huh? Like Reginald. Like
hell no, I hate my Valentino.
he's a decent singer. I never liked. I don't think I ever listened to like any of his albums though. I mean, like he had like the big slow down hit and some other joints. Better production discography, Babyface or Quincy Jones. Hmm, that's a good
Ooh.
one. Damn, Quincy, I gotta go with Quincy, man. All the Michael stuff he did, you know. Back on the block and Q's Juke joint, discovering Tamia. He did a lot, man. You know,
Mm,
that dude album, the Quincy Dude album. That's a classic Quincy Jones album.
yes, love that album, dude.
Yeah,
Body Heat,
yeah,
Back on the Block, man. Those are like my three favorite Quincy Jones albums.
yeah. Yeah. Babyface is great though. He's a legend. Favorite song that sampled James Brown, Big Payback. Um,
But that's a good question.
I want to say Total. Can't you see
Okay,
that drink? When Biggie just started off, it was a rap. That was a song right there. Like it could have just been Big and not even have Total singing on it. That would have been the song.
I would say like LL Cool J's The Booming System.
Yes. I just heard that a couple of days ago for Marley Marl's birthday. That was great. Definitely a classic album. My favorite LL album.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm gonna
hands
look
down.
her up. Huh?
Yeah, that's LL's best album in my opinion too.
Yeah, Loyal to the Game. That's with the Eminem production. I didn't care for that. I kept it though. I didn't throw it away. Now back in like 20 years ago, I would have threw it away, but I kept it. Yeah, James Ingram is on the Dude album. Definitely a classic album. Smooth the Hustler, Once Upon a Time in America, or Blase Blah. Wow. I gotta go with Smooth the Hustler though. I love that album. He's another underrated MC.
Okay,
Him and
maybe.
Trigger the Gambler. Great,
Yeah,
great.
I'm gonna go with Smooth the Hustler too.
I
Cause
need to
I
get that.
always like that. You said what?
I need to get that album. I never bought it.
Yeah, that album, man. I remember seeing that at FYE. I got it for like fucking $20 or some shit.
I remember you telling us that. That's a steal, yo, cause now that shit ain't no $20.
Yeah,
Favorite from
FYE out of all places.
right. No, they had some joints. I don't know how they are now, but when
They
I
suck.
when I was back when I was like still buying stuff in the 2000s, they had joints there though.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know. I think within the last 2 years, they started trimming the hip hop section down where I stay at, and there's
Right,
like literally one shelf of hip hop, while they have like 8 shelves of fucking pop rock and R&B all together.
right,
And with the hip hop, it's like shit I already have, or shit
right.
that's kind of overpriced and shit. Like they have Young Jeezy's inspiration for like $18, which I like. I'm not paying no $18 for the album and shit. You know. I mean, I already got the album on vinyl. I got that for like $10, but still.
Right. Favorite
Then they
Parliament
have. You said what?
favorite Parliament album, Ronnie X.
Mothership Connection. Oh, actually, no. The joint, the joint that came out in '77. Actually, the long ass title with the placebo syndrome.
Right. I like the one we just discussed, the One Nation Under a Groove.
Ooh, yes.
And the album cover is great. Marquise, what up? Who should be on the Mount Rushmore of New Jack Swing? Wow, that's a good one.
Teddy Riley, I'll be sure, Keith Sweat, and I would say Bobby Brown too.
You don't. I gotta put Guy on there, right? Guy gotta be on there.
Yes, the Teddy Riley.
Oh yeah, we tell you all, yeah. Right. Yeah, shit, yeah, just about. Would you say Levert was like early New Jack?
I mean, Levert, yeah, they were New Jack, but at the same time, they still had that like contemporary R&B feel and stuff like that, that
Right,
soulful edge and shit, you know. But
right.
I won't be mad if they would consider New Jack.
True. Chucky Booker. That's another dude with one hit. Turned away. Games was good too. I give him that. He got two hits. He had two hits.
Yeah, he works for Lionel Richie now, so he's getting all the money.
All right, yeah, he's still doing music. He's still doing music.
Yeah.
Damn, Chucky Booker. Wow, that's way back. Would y'all smash 80s Sade? Hell yeah, I smash her now. She's like what, 80 years old? I was I was Sade now. I don't even know. Was she like in her 60s? Hell yeah.
Like late 50s, 60s, around that era.
She got a marble head as a motherfucker, but she's still sexy.
Right. But, but listen, bro, I'm at to actually end it off for the night.
All right.
Yeah, man, you know, I gotta save a lot of this for Sunday and
Right.
stuff like that. So
What we doing Sunday again?
Tyrese alter ego.
All right. Trash reviews coming Sunday. We turn the trash
This
reviews.
one,
That should be interesting.
yeah, this one's gonna be funny as hell though.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this is a dope review. Very, very, very dope review. Learned a lot of stuff about pop from this album and shit like that. I want to say this album's still in print. I want to say, but it's kind of hard to come by.
Right.
So yeah, man. Definitely very, very interesting album. This is Tupac. Are you still down? This is the only posthumous Tupac album I'm ever going to discuss here. So love it while you leave it. That's all I can
Right.
say. Um, with that being said, hope everyone has a good night. Definitely. I'm gonna try to finish up this beef episode by this weekend too. So
Right.
stay tuned on that.
All right.
Peace.
Salute.